In this class, we will continue our discussion about the bar magnet. We were learning about the properties of bar magnet. Now we'll see what happens if we cut the bar magnet into two equal parts. Now when I say cutting the magnet, there can be two cases. One is as shown in the figure, that is longitudinally. Another one is laterally, like if you cut half in this way. That I'll show you later. Now first we'll see what happens when it is cut longitudinally. Before that, consider a bar magnet, and let us say this bar magnet has the pole strength as M. M is the pole strength and its magnetic length is 2L, and it has a magnetic dipole moment of M. We have seen the definition of these three terms in the previous class. Now when the magnet is cut into two equal parts, we will see how all these three quantities change. Now when you cut longitudinally, as you can see from this figure, the magnetic length remains the same. Magnetic length remains the same. But what happens to magnetic pole strength? The pole strength becomes half. Pole strength is halved. Therefore, new pole strength can be written as new pole strength. New pole strength can be written as M dash is equal to M divided by 2, or the magnetic dipole moment M, new magnetic dipole moment is half of the previous one because the pole strength is halved. New magnetic dipole moment. M dash is, I can say that it is M by 2, that is halved. So this is when a bar magnet is cut longitudinally. Now what happens if a bar magnet is cut laterally? Case B, that is laterally. Now this is the case if I take the same bar magnet with south and north, and then if I cut it like this. Now I can say that the pole strength will remain the same. Pole strength remains same. Whereas now the magnetic length becomes halved. Now you can see from here 2L, so each part will have a length of LL. Magnetic length is halved. So therefore we can say that the magnetic dipole moment is also changes and it becomes halves as in the previous case. New magnetic dipole moment. M dash will become M by 2 because the length is halved, but the pole strength remains same. The magnetic dipole moment is halved. In both the cases, the magnetic dipole moment reduces by half. Now we'll see what is the force of attraction or repulsion between two magnets or two magnetic poles. Now let us say we have two magnetic poles M1 with pole strength M1 and M2 placed something like this. S and north and south pole will attract each other. If the pole strength of first pole is m1, this is m2, the force of attraction between these is proportional to the product of pole strength and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between these two poles. Now what is this r? R is the distance between these two poles. The force of attraction or repulsion between two magnetic poles is directly proportional to the product of pole strength and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So this can also be written as equal to F is mu naught by 4 pi into m1 m2 divided by r square. Mu naught is a constant called absolute permeability of the material. So mu naught is, the value is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. The unit is Tesla meter per ampere. Now next we will see what is the magnetic field at any point on the axis of a bar magnet, also at a point on the perpendicular bisector of a bar magnet. First case, magnetic field B so number A, at any point on the axis of a bar magnet. For this you consider a bar magnet, and let us say the magnetic length of this magnet is 2L and the magnetic moment is m. So we are going to find out the dipole on its axis. We know this is the axis at any point. So let us say we are finding out the magnetic field P at this point. The B is given by, and this point P, let us say from the center of the magnet it is at a distance r. From the center of the magnet it is at a from the center of the bar magnet it is at a distance r. Now the value of B, the magnitude, is given by mu naught by 4 pi into 2 m r divided by r square minus L square whole square. And the direction is as shown in this figure. It is directed parallel to dipole moment m. Now for a special case, if for a short bar magnet, or I can write for a short bar magnet, R will be very, very greater than L, and in that case we can write P as mu naught by 4 pi into 2m divided by r cube, because in the above figure L is negligible, r to the power 4, 1 r will get cancelled with 1 r in the numerator, so B will become mu naught by 4 pi into 2m by r cube. Now we will find out another case. B, case B, magnetic field B at any point, magnetic field B at any point on the perpendicular bisector bisector on the perpendicular bisector of bar magnet of a bar magnet. We will consider the same above bar magnet. We are going to find out the magnetic field at any point on the perpendicular bisector. So let us say the magnetic dipole moment of this as m. So this can be a perpendicular bisector, so this is P. So if you find out the magnetic field, the direction will come like this. At any point on the perpendicular bisector of a bar magnet, the value of B is given by mu naught by 4 pi, and let us say the magnetic length is 2L itself. Mu naught by 4 pi into m divided by r square plus L square to the power 3 by 2, or, and the direction is as shown in the figure, that is directed anti-parallel to dipole moment m, or parallel to m and in a direction opposite to m. So for a short bar magnet, in case of short bar magnet, R is very greater than L, so L can be neglected. The B will become B is mu naught by 4 pi into m by r cube. These are the two cases wherein we are finding magnetic field B of a bar magnet on the axis and at any point on the perpendicular bisector of the bar magnet. Now, as I said, to represent the magnetic field we use field lines. Now, if you take a bar magnet, the magnetic field lines, what are the properties of magnetic field lines? The magnetic field lines are closed loops, or I can say that it is a closed continuous curve. It goes like this. So what is its direction? Outside the magnet, the field lines emerge from north pole. Outside the magnet, it goes from north pole to and it enters the south pole. The field lines emerge from north pole and submerge in south pole. Sorry, it will enter the south pole. So inside the magnet, it will go from south to north pole. The direction of magnetic field lines is as shown in this figure. It starts from north pole and ends at south pole outside the magnet. Now, the tangent to magnetic field line at any point gives the direction of magnetic field at that point. Just like your electric field lines, the direction of finding out electric field. The tangent to magnetic field line at any point gives the direction of magnetic field, gives the direction of magnetic field at that point. Now if you want to find out the direction of magnetic field at any point, just draw a tangent to the magnetic field line. So now another important thing is, two magnetic field lines ever intersect each other, because if they intersect each other, then what happens, we will get two tangents pointing in two different directions. That means we are getting at one single point two direction of magnetic field, which is not possible. So no two magnetic field lines ever intersect each other, because if they do so, we will get two tangents in two different directions. That means if we get two tangents at two different directions, at one particular point we are getting two directions of magnetic field, which is not possible. So no two magnetic field lines ever intersect each other. These are some properties of bar magnets and the magnetic field lines. In the next session we will see what happens if a bar magnet is placed in a uniform magnetic field.